Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the panel for being here today. Do have a couple questions regarding some things based upon the report. But first, Ms. Harthway, under the Office of Workers' Compensation Programs' new process for authorizing coal mine operator self-insurance, what types of documentation are coal mine operators required to provide as part of an application?
So we ask a lot of more detailed questions in our application. We ask for 3 years of audited financial statements. We ask for the actuarial report. If they want to send their own actuarial report, they're welcome to do that. We ask for all current claims benefit information that have been paid out over the past 3 years. And we have a tool in which we're analyzing, based on all that financial information, the low, medium, and high-risk categories that we place coal operators in.
Okay. Just to follow up on that, you say you require this now. Were these always the requirements, or were there new additions based upon the GAO or other recommendations to strengthen the program oversight?
So these are strengthened. There's always been a request for financial documents, and the big problem here is that so much time went by without there being a review of this. So the earlier questions and testimony is accurate. Years would go by, and no one had reviewed the self-insurance process. So even if you ask for financial information, it may have been 10 or 15 years old. One of the key aspects of this new process is this will be done annually, and we're going to get quarterly financial reports from all the operators going forward.
The operators, and you talk about having the information available. Of course, many companies are organized in different ways. Are these companies privately held companies? Are they publicly traded companies, or are they some of both?
I believe they're a mixture, sir.
They're a mixture. So actually a publicly traded company then would have information more readily available?
Correct.
Okay, just sort of trying to understand that, because I know we all talk about how we hold people accountable and who owns these companies and makes the money from them. And a lot of times it may not just be an individual, but it might be something that's publicly traded on the stock market. Therefore,
correct,
owners could be pension funds and all the other kind of things of some of these bankrupt companies.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Brown-Barnes, your report mentions that the Black Lung Disability Trust Fund has faced financial challenges since it was first established over 40 years ago. If there are not sufficient funds in the trust fund to pay benefits, how does the fund pay for these benefits?
The benefits are not in jeopardy. They are paid for. That's under the act that they will be paid for.
But where do we generate if the fund? Or let me ask this question: how often has the fund had to borrow from the Department of Treasury's general fund to be solvent, or have they had to do that?
No, they've had to do that. They've had to do that almost since the beginning. Since the beginning
of the act
of the trust fund.
Of the trust fund, okay. The other question, I guess, Ms. Brown-Barnes, the GAO examined 8 coal mine operator bankruptcies in the report. How many of the bankruptcies resulted in benefit liabilities being transferred to the Black Lung Disability Trust Fund? Do we know that?
We know about the 3 that we talked about, James River Coal, as well as Arch and Patriot. So we do know about those 3. But then there are 4 other ones that we do not have complete estimates of. We have some information about Westmoreland Coal. We've heard recently that was $17 million. And then there are others that did not, 3 others that did not result in benefits being transferred to the trust fund.
Okay. How many of the coal mine operators were self-insured compared to the commercially insured? Do we know that?
We know that out of the 8, 2 were commercially insured. Those benefits were not transferred to the trust fund. Then there were the 6 that I had in my chart. And out of that 6, 3 of the self-insured were transferred to trust fund. The other 3 self-insured were reorganized, and their benefit liabilities did not end up on the trust fund.
Okay. And another important part, were these privately held companies or publicly traded companies, or privately held, or don't we have that information on these ones that were bankruptcies?
Yeah, I could get you some of the details of that to give you a fuller picture.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.